I'm so glad I decided to stop by. In this channel, I make content around travel advice and I share my various destination experiences. So today, I'm going to talk about a very important topic, something that's prevented a lot of people from traveling around Europe, and that has to do with the Schengen visa. Yes, I've gotten a lot of questions about that, and I'm going to address your questions today, explaining all the steps that you need to get that visa, and not just a Schengen visa, but a multiple entry visa. So let's begin. What is a Schengen visa, by the way? So a Schengen visa is a visa that allows you to travel across the various Schengen zone. So at the time I made this video, there are about 29 European countries in the Schengen area. Yes, so what it means is that if you get a visa for one of these countries, you can use that same visa to travel to another country. You don't need to apply for another visa again. That is if you get a multiple entry. So in this video, I'll cover the documents you need, the mistake that you should avoid now that you've seen the benefit of having a Schengen visa. So let's talk about how to get one, and like I said, not just one, but how to get multiple one. I mean, the price is the same whether you apply for a single entry or a multiple entry. So why not you just take the opportunity to apply once and get a multiple entry so you can keep visiting around the Schengen zone over and over again, and which is what I always do all the time. So let's start with the process. So the first thing I would advise is that you should determine, do you really need a Schengen visa? Not every country or every nationality is required to have a Schengen visa, so you need to check the eligibility. Is your country among those who are exempted from getting a Schengen visa? And you can find this information on the consulate website of the country you tend to visit, or the application center, the website that you tend to make your application. So having known if you need one or you don't need one, then let's go to the next step. So the next thing is that you should know the kind of visa that you will need. Yes, so what it means is that what is the purpose of going to the Schengen area? Are you trying to study? Are you going to visit family or friends? Are you going for tourism? Or are you going for a conference or a cultural exchange program? Because each of these things that you need to do in the Schengen zone determines a different kind of application. So knowing exactly what you're going to do in the Schengen area should determine the kind of visa that you should apply for. Because like when you're filling the application, you have to state your intended purpose of going to the Schengen area. And you don't want to make the mistake of picking an option which is not the right option, and that can be a red flag for your application. So let's continue. So the next thing to do is that you should book an appointment. Yes, so now that you know, if you need a Schengen visa or not, and if you know that you need a Schengen visa and you've known the purpose why you are going to the Schengen area, you need to book an appointment. I said this is a very important step because a lot of people, they're trying to kind of like buy your air ticket first, gather all your documents. Yeah, that is very important, but I would suggest that pick a date first. And the reason is that it's not easy getting an appointment there on the website of this site. So whenever you see time, I think that's an advantage. So the earlier you book for a time slot, you have at least you can apply for your visa 6 months prior to your departure. So book your slot down within that time and gather the required document that you need. And each country use different visa processing services. I know for Spain they use the BLS, some use VFS, and Greece use GVC. So check the country and the processing site that you need to use for your visa. So having known that, so the next thing that you should do is to start gathering your documents. And one important document that you need is your international passport. You can't travel anywhere without your international passport. So that's a very important document. You need to get your international passport ready, and most countries require that your international passport must be valid for at least 3 months upon your departure from the Schengen area. And also for most countries, it's you should also have 2 blank spaces left within your passport before you make that application. So if you've not gotten your international passport, go get one today, because you cannot travel out of a country without your international passport. It's a valid international means of recognition for anyone trying to travel. You also need a passport photograph, and there's a required size. So you want to check the website to see the required size that you need, and preferably your passport should not be older than 6 months, because they need a recent passport to validate your identity. And also with your passport, do not wear sunglasses. Yes, they need to like see your eyes and get all the features of your face. So the next documents you need is a travel insurance. Yes, that is required. A travel insurance is very important. I mean, you're leaving your country to somewhere else. You never know what might happen to you. So, and most of them will require that you should have at least 30,000 that can cover your medical, just for medical coverage if you go abroad. So look for good travel insurance to buy that can cover you for the duration, or else your application would be rejected. Another document you need is your bank statement, and most of them will be like at least 3 months, just to see your inflow and outflow of cash, just to be sure that you have enough money you claim to like cover your stay while you're in this zone. And for some country, they state, oh, you might have $50 per day or even more than that. So also check the country and the required amount that they need to be your account. So I think that you should have enough money even above what is stated, just to show that if there's unforeseen circumstances, there's still like some money left. So on your account should be an account that is active. I'll suggest the account you use every day for like shopping, and the account that also show maybe your salary, like where you work, or if you do side hustle or your business, just something active that shows inflow and outflow of cash. It's not the time to like just go create an account and then like just stuck in money there. That can raise a red flag. But an account that is very busy, that they say, oh, inflow and outflow of cash, will be very useful for your application. Yeah, another thing you need is a residence permit. So you need to go along with the original copy of your residence permit. That is, if you don't live in a country where you are a national of. So they need to see that, just to be sure that you are not illegally living in the country that you came to like do your application from. And that is why most of them do not like you like making your application when you are a visitor. They will say, no, go back to your home country and make that application for. And then most time they also want like this residence permit to be valid for at least a month upon you leaving the Schengen zone, just for them to be sure that you actually like leave the Schengen zone. So check your documents and go with a photocopy of that when going to make your application, because they want to see the original and then they will have like a photocopy with them. So you need to like go with a residence permit if you're not a national of the country where you live and you're applying for a Schengen visa. So the next document you need is your hotel reservation and flight ticket. Oh, I know you're thinking, do I have to like go and book my hotel before I even get my visa or my flight ticket? What if my passport, I don't get it before, and I've already made this reservation? What will I do? What's going to happen? It can be a dilemma. So what I would suggest is that you could do like a dummy sort of booking. With booking.com, you could make reservation in properties without actually paying. So you can take that as confirmation to submit. And I think I will suggest that you book the ones that the cancellation policy, you don't have to pay, and at a certain period of time. That can be helpful in case you don't get your passport back on time, or you change your mind, you cannot make the trip. Also with flight, you don't really have to like buy an actual ticket, except you're sure you've submitted like a long time prior to the application and you're convinced that you're going to get the visa. Or sometimes it's like you get like a very cheap ticket, maybe like a return ticket for like £20, and you have £20 to spare. Why not? You can buy an actual ticket, because closer to the date the price might be expensive. Or you could again also like do like a dummy ticket. So you really don't have to like book those things before you apply. Just some sort of evidence to show, okay, this is what you're thinking about, where you will stay, and the flight that we use will be very helpful. And again, so embassies will even state that do not book your tickets or make a reservation. So it depends on like which country you want to go to. Some don't really care to like see those, while some they might be like, oh, we want to see that sort of document. So always read what is required of you, the document that each specific country needs, because country differ. I just want to state that even though like it's a Schengen visa, their method of application varies sometimes. So read the document required, and can find this information on the website or the processing center or even the country embassy. Another thing you need is your letter of employment or your study letter. That's a letter from your university. That's if you are a student. Yeah, so they want to know like your occupation, and for it to be valid, it has to be on a letter-headed paper to show that you're actually employed with this company. And they love to see the logo, the address, the telephone number, the contact details, name of the person who is signing, and the signature of the person, just to authenticate that this letter is actually real. Yes, and then if you're a student, the same letter from university stating you're a student, the program you're studying, the duration of your program, and that you have permission to like travel, things like that. They want to like see there. It's not really compulsory that they have to state, oh, we are giving you the permission to travel, but just like most of my application I do is just employment status later that is just this saying, oh, this she's actually employed here, she works here, this is the kind of job she does, and things like that. So nobody really says, oh, she's going on leave on this time, on that time. So you don't have to like rack your head to bother to say, oh, my employer must state, oh, she has like how many days annual leave, or she will be away, or we've permitted just a simple confirmation of your employment on a validated like paper with signature, and those other details will do the work even for you as a student. Because I remember while I was also studying and I applied for Schengen visa as a student, my student status letter just showed my program and the duration. There was nothing like, oh, we're giving her permission to travel or things like that. So just a letter confirming whatever you are will work very well, but must be on a letter headed paper, must be signed, name of signature, contact, telephone number, and address. Yeah, some of you are asking, is it only students or those that are employed that can apply for a Schengen visa? No, if you run a business, you're self-employed, you do your own thing, you can also apply for a Schengen visa. All you have to do is that you get a letter from your banker, your accountant, or a solicitor, and still the same process. That has to be on a letter headed paper, must be signed with their name, their address, that includes their registration number and all sort of details like that, just to show that it is official. Another way you could do is that you get a letter from tax authority. I mean, you run a business, so definitely you pay tax. So a letter from a tax authority could also help you like with your application, just to validate that you actually like run this business and things like that. So the next thing now that you need to do is to fill the Schengen application form, which we are going to do. So stick around, you don't want to miss it, to get all information like how to fill the form correctly, because this form is very important and will determine also again if you get rejected or you get accepted. So if you've gotten value from this video, don't forget to like, to subscribe, and leave your comments. I would love to read them. So let's start filling the application, because I want you to get that multiple entry Schengen visa. Hello and welcome. So let's start filling the Schengen visa application form so you get the multiple entry Schengen visa. Advise that you don't skip any part and watch this video to the end, because in between I'll be mentioning very important things that will scale your application and make you get that multiple entry Schengen visa. You don't want to be denied, so do not miss any part. This is what the form looks like. So the space where there is photo, just put your passport photograph there, and let's begin answering the question. So I will zoom in at some point. So the point where it says for official use only, do not touch that part, leave that part, and answer every other part. So let's begin. And the first thing there you have to answer, it says your surname, your family name. So what is your surname as it appears on your international passport? Write that there. So the second one is your surname at birth. So if you have like a former family name, so what's the name you were using before you got married, write that name there. But if you are single, just maintain like your surname at birth, still the same surname on your passport. So the third one is your first names, given names. So here is where you write your name. You have your first name, you have your middle name, and probably now that you have like a new surname, if you are married, you write all that names there. And the fourth one is your date of birth, and you can see the format here is the day, the month, and the year. So for example, you were born on the 20th, right? 20th there, what month was that? If it's March, and March is the 10th month of the year, so do 20th/03. And what year were you born? Probably you were born in year 2000, right? 2000 there. So place of birth, what place were you born? Write it there. And that should tally to what is on your international passport. Your country of birth, state it there. Your current nationality, state it there. And they say nationality at birth, if different, just write your nationality there. So the eighth one there, you have sex, and there are two boxes to take from, male or female. Pick whichever applies to you. And your marital status is the next thing. You have single, you have married, you have separated, you have divorced, you have widower, you have other. Please specify. So whichever option is mentioned there, pick that. And if there's other marital status that is not listed there, you write it there yourself. That's why I said please specify. The next question, which is question 10, says in the case of minor, your surname, your first name, your address if different from applicant, and nationality of parental authority slash legal guardian. So if you're not up to 18 and then you're applying for a Schengen visa, so that is where you have to put the name of your guardian who is going to like take that responsibility to fill this part. But if you are more than 18, skip question 10. It doesn't apply to you. And the next one is question 11, your national identity number where applicable. So you know some countries, they have national identity number which is different from passport number. So in that case, you can write that there. So the 12th thing we have there is your type of travel document. So do you use an ordinary passport? Do you use a diplomatic passport? Do you use a service passport, official passport, special passport, other travel document? Please specify. So pick whatever applies to you. And if you don't find your option, use the space of other travel document. Please specify. I hope you are getting value. Let's keep going and fill this application form. So the next thing you have there is your number of travel document. So what's the number of your passport or the document you are using? Write it there. What date was it issued? Which is question 14. Write the date it was issued. Where is it valid until 15? So when is the end year of this your end document? Write it there. And if maybe you are using a document like maybe a national identity that doesn't have like an end date, you can just put n/a not applicable there. And then for 16 is issued by, so who issued this document? Like if you're using a passport, it's normally stated where your document was issued from. Please write that correct detail. All information should tally so you don't make a mistake and you're not raising like red flag for the person issuing your application. So the 13th question you have there is the line where number 17, which is applicant home address and email address. Write the address where you currently live, just in case of, probably they need to send a letter to like reach out to you. So you want to be sure that you live in this address, or the address you go often, you don't miss anything. So write the correct address there and put your right email address. Do not use an email address is not functional, you can't remember the password or something. Write an email address that you have easy access to and you check your email regularly. Use that. So again, you have your telephone number. Write your telephone number. If you have more than one telephone number, write it there. Write as many as you wish. So 18th thing there is residence in a country other than the country of current nationality. So if you live in a separate country different from your own original country, state it there. Is it no? Is it yes? And so if you don't live in a separate country, just take no and jump to the next question. But if you live in a country different from your nationality, stick yes. And the residence permit or equivalent, the number of it. The number is always on this document. Go there and write the number. And then it says valid until, write the end where this residence permit is valid until. But then if you have something like indefinite leave to remain or something, state it there. Always write what tallies with your document. So the next thing, number 19, is your current occupation. What do you currently do? Are you employed? Are you a business owner? Are you a student? Whatever. Put your current occupation there. So 20 is employer and employer's address and telephone number. So for student, it says name and address of educational establishment. So where do you work? Where do you study? Write it there. What is the address? Put the address there. Put the postcode, if you know postcode, the telephone number. Put a valid telephone number that they could reach out to. Probably they want to contact just to check if you are authentic. So put the right number that they can reach out to there. So 21, let's jump over to 21, which is your main purpose of this visit. So yeah, this is very important. This determines why a lot of people don't get like long Schengen visa or I even denied your application. What is the main reason you want to go? Because this is like a story you're telling from all your answer. Whatever you're saying and with the document that you're submitting, let everything tally together. So it's not like you are saying different things here and there. That just kind of like throw off your officials. And you know these people, they are very busy. So write and follow simple, straight, clear procedure. What is the main reason? I know maybe you want to go there for business. Some people want to go there for business. The same time you want to go for tourism, you want to go for health checkup, whatever. But please, let's say for the first time that you are going there, that should be like your main reason. State it there. Is it tourism? Pick one and just leave it there. Is it for business? Are you visiting your family or friends? Are you going for a cultural program? Are you trying to do sports? Are you trying to do official visits? Are you going for medical reasons, study, transit, airport transit, or other? You cannot be going for study and then you put tourism. They're going to give you a tourism visa and you can't use that to study while you're in the Schengen zone. That's going to cause issues for you. So please pick one reason. While you're studying, you can do tourism in between. So just pick the main reason that applies to you. So let's move along. So the next one we have there is 22. Member states/states of destination. So where are you going to? So this can be really tricky, and I will advise that please, if you're applying to a particular country, so you know there's like different country. Are you trying to go to Spain, France? Please, that country you know you're applying to, that you booked an appointment for to submit your application, write the name of that country. Because most times, if maybe we know you intend to like go to France or something later, but because this is a different consulate, maybe you're trying to go to France and you're applying through Spain. Spain as a country is different from France. If you go and write France there, that is really, really tricky and dicey. Just stick to the Spain. When you get a Schengen visa, you can use it across multiple states. So I would suggest write the name of that country. Be simple, leave it at one. Don't write all the places you intend to like visit, except you have so much time to prepare so many documents and start writing and explaining. Just write one. If you write one and which is the country you're applying to, as far as you take multiple entry visa, it's left for the official to like give you multiple entry visa and give you the duration that can be long or whatever. It doesn't matter how so much you write. People who have also done this way have gotten multiple Schengen visa. So let's keep going along so you don't miss more details and fill your application correctly. So the next thing is member state of first entry. So put it there, the member state of first entry, which is that country you're trying to go to. But then maybe you're going somewhere else and you're just trying to like apply to another place and you have permission from that country, you could put it there, member state of first entry. So number 24 is number of entry requested, single entry, two entry, multiple entry. I always suggest pick multiple entry because this gives you, because you might want to like go in and out of the Schengen zone so many times, even though you know, oh, maybe this year it's just Paris I want to go to. You never know. They said the only constant thing in life is change. Something might happen along the way. So just pick multiple entry. It saves you that stress. So even though you pick multiple entry and then you get like 2 times entry or a single entry, at least you know you try. But then if you put single entry, they're like, oh, she just wants, or you just want a single entry, and they give you that single entry. So pick multiple entry. Not going to harm you whether you go to multiple places or not with the visa. So pick that option. So let's move along. 25. What duration of intended stay or transit? So indicate the number of days you intend to like stay within this zone. So again, follow one story. We know you want to visit the Schengen zone over and over again, but for the first time, with the flight ticket you probably booked and your accommodation, even though it's a dummy ticket, and you stated 5 days, even your travel insurance that you are submitting is 5 days that is there, but then you gotta write 10 days. They're like, you can't, they won't give it to you because it's like you're not properly insured at this time you're applying. So the next one is 26. Your Schengen visa is issued during the past 3 years. So probably you've had a Schengen visa before. If it's yes, put yes. If it's no, no. And if you've had one before and you say yes, put the dates where it was valid from. You could mention everything in this particular box, here to here, this country, just like that. And then your fingerprints collected previously for the purpose of applying for a Schengen visa. Yes, have your fingerprint been collected before? No, has it not been collected before? So take the right option. And then it's like there's a box that says date if no. So if you know the date when it was given, Write it there. So 28 is entry permit for the final country of destination where applicable. You don't have to answer this question if you just picked, oh, I'm going to this country because I'm applying to this country, just to make it simple. But maybe you're just passing through that country, and maybe that's the country that have slots, but then you have like an official letter from the other country like to visit. You could do that. But like I say, to make things simple, just leave blank, focus on that country, so they're not like asking you so many questions and coming back. They can still give you multiple entry that you could use to go to the other country you plan to go. So intended date of arrival in the Schengen zone. Please be very careful here. Remember with your travel insurance, which is why I say these are the little bits of information that they are looking at. You stated that, oh, I want to visit on the 10th of February. That is where you bought even your dummy ticket, your flight is showing, your insurance start counting from, your accommodation starts showing. Then here you now start writing on the 5th. You can see there is disparity. This is like different things you are saying. It's going to like raise an issue and make your case some sort of complicated. Just stick to that first date. You have the time, even though oh, let me just put that there because I might go much earlier or much later. But to be on the safe side, the one that tally with that document, put it there. When you're issued your visa, you might go on that same date, or you can decide to go after that same day. Nobody will question you. But please, these are the little bits you have to do correctly in your application. So put that intended date that tallies with whatever supporting document you're submitting and write it there. So number 30, your intended date of departure. Yes, they don't want you to come to the Schengen zone and decide to make there your permanent residency. There's an application of like if you want to like relocate to a country and things like that. Remember the option that you have ticked from. State when you intend to leave. Even though again you want to keep visiting, you want to visit another country or whatever. Like I said, don't try to make things overcomplicated by listing so many things. But for this particular country, the one that is your first ticket is showing, write it down there. The next thing we have there is 31. I hope you are getting value. Don't forget to like and subscribe. So 31 is surname and first name of the living person in the member state. If not applicable, name of hotels or temporary accommodation in the member state. So remember, you've picked an option. Maybe you're trying to like visit your family and friends. You can put their details here. But if you are going for tourism, you are going for study, you are going for business, which is like a separate application, what you should do here is, because it says surname and first name of the inviting person. So if it's like you're visiting for cultural exchange, you write that. But then if none of this apply to you, you don't have relative, you're going for tourism, just write the name of the hotel or temporary accommodation. Maybe you're booking an Airbnb or a shared accommodation. Write the name of the apartment there. So under there is the address and email of the inviting person, your hotel or your temporary accommodation. So what is the address of this place that you're going to stay? Write the address there. Telephone and telefax. Put a correct number that they can reach. If you are booking to an hotel, this information is on the website. If you're being invited by somebody, please collect the right information so that you're not stating something and when they Google about this thing or try to reach out, it's something different. Please use the right information. Let's move along quickly. 32, we have your name and address of inviting company/organization. So here is, remember, maybe you're going for a cultural exchange program, and let's say Tornadoes, for example, I'm just make up that name, charity invited you. Write the name of that company or organization. But if you were not invited by anybody or anything, you're going for tourism or other purposes, leave blank. There you have telephone and telepass of company/organization. If you are being invited, put the telephone number again of that company. Yes, you can say, oh, we are repeating again. Yes, please answer the question because it's asterisk there, it's compulsory. Wherever you say asterisk, it's compulsory. But if this does not apply to you, leave it. But if it applies to you, please write the information again. Follow due process. So the next one is surname, first name, your address, your telephone, and email address of contact person, the company organization. So if you're invited by somebody, please, we know you're invited by Tornado Charity, but Tornado Charity has an HR, they have a program manager, they have an executive director. Just put the name of one person that they could reach in case they want to like check if you are actually saying the right thing. I want to reach out to someone to make sure that is the right person. Please put the right information. Let's move along quickly to number 33 that say cost of traveling and living during the applicant stay is covered. So yeah, who is paying for this trip that you claim you are trying to go? Are you paying by yourself? So if you are paying by yourself, you take that. And then there's like means of support. Are you going by cash, traveler's check, credit card, prepaid accommodation, prepaid transport, all that? So whichever applied to you, tick that there. But most I would just say cash because in between you can do cash and things like that. You have a bank statement to like prove. But if you want to solely rely on solely rely on credit card, just tick credit card. Then let's move to the other side of the form. So if that does not apply to you, you're not covering the cost by yourself. So there's another option by a sponsor. So maybe you're going for a conference or you're invited for a fellowship or something. Stick that there. So you're being sponsored by somebody, by a company and an organization. And please write the name of that. Remember they say refer back. So remember to go back again. Like I said, this thing, they like you repeating information sometimes to like use that same information. Come back here and put again the name of the organization. Means of support. Are they going to support you by giving you cash? If it's cash, we will give it to you. Tick as many that apply to you. We do also like give you accommodation ticket. Also, all the expenses covered during your stay. Ticket there. Are you doing prepaid transport or other? Whatever apply to you, just take the right option in between. You can't say you're going to cover it by yourself and maybe in the beginning you have say, oh, you are being sponsored. Again, that is like, you probably say, damn it, this person is not saying the truth, your story is not coherent. Please stick to one that applies to you and feed that there. So let's go along. We are almost at the end of the form. I hope you've gotten value from so far and you can really fill your application to get a multiple entry visa. So 34 is like your personal data of family member who is an EU, EA, or CH citizen. So if this does not apply to you, you're not going to meet your family member. Leave blank, did not answer. But if you are going to like meet your family member, put the details of your family member here. So there you have surname, write the surname of the person, first name. The person has more than one name, write it there. But if date of birth of that person, collect it, put it there. The nationality of that person, collect the right information, because you are going to a country and they have like database. They want to find out, you're saying you're going to meet somebody, they want to be sure you're not being kidnapped or you're going there for trafficking or they're not trying to kidnap you. Please put the right information and the number of travel document or ID card of that person, collect it. But if you know you're going for tourism or other purpose and you don't have member states, or even though you have but your main reason is not to go and meet your family member, you're going for tourism, leave this blank, do not answer, so you don't overcomplicate your application. And let's jump to question 35. Yeah, we're getting to the end, and that is like your family relationship with this person in the EU, in the EEA, or the CA citizen. So is this person your spouse? Is this person your child? Are you a grandchild of this person? Are you a dependent of this person? If this applies to you, stick that. But if none of this apply to you, leave question 34, leave question 35 alone. But you must fill question 36, which is the place and date. Where are you making your application from? Which country are you applying from? Let's say you live in the UK or you live in France, you live in Paris. So what place is that? Write the place. If it's UK, where exactly in the UK? Is it from London? Put London. Is it from Edinburgh? Edinburgh. Manchester, Manchester. London. If it's Paris, if it's France, is it Paris? Put Paris, wherever. That exact location and the date. What date did you go to the visa processing center to submit your application? Put it there. And your signature. So you sign there. But if you're a minor, you're not up to 18, you have to use your guardian signature. Say signature of parental authority or legal guardian. Someone else would sign on your behalf. And so this is just the terms and conditions here. So listen, be aware that this visa fee is not refunded. Yes, so if your visa is denied, you won't be denied because like you feed everything accurately, I am sure, and I'm rooting for you. So that is it. So application in case of a multiple entry visa is applied for. I am aware of the need to have an adequate travel medical insurance for my first stay and any subsequent visit to the territory of member state. Yes, so it just means that, oh, you have to have a valid, even though they give you more entry, they will expect you to take that initiative to get a travel insurance because you know it's good for you, but it's left for you to do that. But remember, you must have a valid insurance like when you're applying now. And so this is like another term and condition. I always advise read term and condition to understand. But it's so much just to save us time because we're at the end of the application. And so read that on your own later. Don't forget to like. I mean, I've given you so much value. Share this video to help people get their multiple entry. And around visa application services, I leave my contact details in the description box displayed on the screen, and it's at preciousexplor@gmail.com. So I declare that to the best of my knowledge the particulars submitted are correct and complete, blah blah blah. Again, sign 2 times just as you did in 36. You put the place where you're signing, you put the date, and again signature for minors and parental guidance. Yeah, so with this I am confident that you're going to fill your application correctly and you are going to like smash and get that multiple entries. So you keep visiting the Schengen zone, and the purpose why you tend to go there is granted to you and written to you. And don't forget to like leave your comment. If you have any question, I'll be glad to answer them. And you have any comments, share your experience about your visa application and things like that. And just general comment for this channel. What tips, what improvement do you want to see, or what kind of videos you want me to make? And I will read them and answer them. Thank you for watching. And until next time, I say is happy travel. Bye.